Hello, my name is Alec Yates, and I'm the author of this book called The Flashlight, a Time Machine. The story takes place somewhere in Brooklyn. Four children are walking home from school when one of them points to the other side of the street and says, "Look, there's an old abandoned building. Let's go in and take a look." So they go across the street and stand in front of the building thinking about should they go in or not. So they decided to go in and take a look around. One of them got curious and wanted to go upstairs to see what else they can find upstairs. They all followed and went upstairs and saw a large trunk, a canvas covering that trunk. So they all got together and started to pull the canvas off the trunk. They got the canvas off the trunk, and now they had to pull together to get the trunk open. They opened the trunk and looked inside and saw nothing but papers, all kinds of documents. But they took a closer look and saw a piece of metal in between the documents. They picked it up and looked at it and said, "This is a flashlight." "Why is a flashlight," they asked, "doing in a trunk filled with papers?" So they looked at it again, but closer. They saw that there was a window for the month, a window for the day, and a window for the year. And a document that said May 5th, 1925, with a signature, maybe the owner's signature. So then they started to think, well, maybe it's not just a flashlight. Maybe it could be something important. An important device. But they got curious. They pointed to the wall, turned it on. One of them said, "Wow, what is that?" One of them said that when you flash a flashlight on the wall, you see the image of the light, but you are able to see through the wall. This is not just a regular flashlight. It might be a time machine. And there they saw people moving around in this portal. One of them said, "Hey, she looks a little bit like my grandmother back in the 1920s. So one of them looked at the flashlight and saw that maybe this must be definitely a time machine that can take us back into time and maybe find the owner of this flashlight." So they all started to get a little closer to the portal and see if they'd be able to go inside it and trying to figure out how to go about taking this and giving this back to the owner. But before they went, they wanted to put one of the documents in a friend's backpack. So this way, when they get there to the other side, they'll be able to find the person by using that person's name. So they all went through and ended up in the 1920s, or I should say 1925. They got to the other side and they were spotted by two people, a boy and a guy driving a car. The little boy in the car, "Hey, wait a minute. I just saw you guys come out of a hole in the sky. How did you get here? And what was that?" So the kids explained to him that we used this flashlight to get here, and we need to find the inventor or the owner of this flashlight. So the boy in the car told him, well, the best way to do it is to go to the Hall of Records and check out and see if they have the name that's on the document in the Hall of Records, and maybe try and find his address. So he went to the Hall of Records, found the owner's name, got into the car, and he drove to the owner's house. Got in front of the house, went up to the door, knocked on the door, and an older gentleman opened the door and said, hello, may I help you? So the children raised the flashlight and asked him, are you the owner of this flashlight? He said, yes, I am. Where did you get it? And the man invited them in, and the children told them all about how they was able to get here. We figured out that we used the window and we saw the documents, and we just set everything to your time date, which is July 12th or May 12th or May 25th, 1925. And here we are. And here's where we live. We live in Manhattan. But the building is in Manhattan, but we actually go to school in Brooklyn. And the professor was so amazed how tall the building was that he could not believe his eyes. But the children told the professor, we have to go. We have to get back home so we can go to school. The professor said, thank you for bringing my flashlight back, and I want you to have a safe journey back. Children said, no problem, take care, goodbye. They got back in front of the old abandoned building, stood in front of it and said, wow, we went on a great adventure. So they walked back home and couldn't believe what just happened. But isn't that the professor in a car? And is it possible that it might be someone that looks like the professor and not just him, the professor, coming back from 1925? Who knows? The end. If you'd like a copy of this book, you can go to Amazon.com, or you can go to BarnesandNoble.com, or you can go to my author website, which is AlecYates.com, AlecYates.com. Thank you for viewing.